Hi guys, Random here. Been a while. Not really had much chance to record. So here I am, and because it's been a while, there's a little bonus at the end for you. You'll have to stay tuned to see what. But make sure you don't miss it. Should make you smile. As you can see, I'm playing a game of Rush on Randomhato. We're attacking. I'm using my less used weapons to try and up the kills. The idea being I'd like to get a service star on at least one service star anyway on every gun. I've got to start somewhere. I'm using this with no sights, no nothing, basically because I haven't unlocked anything for it. In this video I'm going to talk about the Platoon. I'm going to talk about Armoured Kill, I'm going to talk about DICE, and I'm going to talk about the Battlefield community. These are just my thoughts, but see what you think. You might agree. Now, for the Platoons, the Squirrel Company and SOG have kind of fallen from their former might. My thoughts on this kind of probably similar to a lot of people, really. The founder of the Platoons, the Squirrel's Nuts, had some real issues on Battlefield with people stalking him and Battlelog having no privacy option whatsoever. He, I think, kind of got fed up with just constantly being followed around and trolled, and who wouldn't, you know. So he had a period of at least a couple of months where he hadn't really played at all. In fact, I don't think he played a game for at least a couple of months. Consequently, his BF3 footage wasn't being recorded, so no videos. Now, my feeling is a lot of people in the Platoon were there for the fact they were fans of or subscribers to Squirrel's YouTube. Now, obviously, when he kind of lost interest, you know, for whatever reason, and went off to do other things, which perfectly fine. I'll defend him to the death for that. That's absolutely fine with me. I think a lot of other people, because they weren't getting the push, if you like, to play the game from the videos, and, you know, maybe get a chance to play with Squirrel, I think their interest dropped off. We then ended up in a situation where we had a huge amount of less than active people in the Platoon. Anders, bless him, went through it and took them all out and kept on top of it. But it did just get to the point where you had a core group of people who were playing, and everyone else was kind of there for, well, just there, really. It's not an issue as far as I'm concerned if people go off and, you know, find a different game to play, or lose interest in a particular game and gain interest in maybe a game they've, you know, already own or have borrowed or whatever. That's fine. Same reason goes that I went and bought Battlefield. You know, I like the game, so I bought it and I play it. If I don't enjoy it, then I'll go find something else. It's not really the end of the world. But it got to the point where it became kind of a bit much, I think, to expect one person, Anders, to stay on top of everything. So people within the platoon decided to go off and do their own thing. Anders wasn't the only one. Owen and Lee have got the Nerf the Noob channel. Link will be below in the description for that. They're great guys. They've got their own YouTube channel. That's kind of a fairly good reason really to have your own platoon. Anders, I know, doesn't post YouTube footage. He chooses not to, but I'm fairly sure that a good number of the people in his platoon, bunch of monkeys, myself included, do record. So you know, maybe we'll do a bunch of monkeys channel. Who knows? Now, moving on to Armoured Kill. You need to kind of hear me out on this one before you start bashing the dislike button. See what your opinion is when I kind of explain myself a bit. Now, I believe that Armoured Kill is badly flawed when you consider EA's current sales policy. I'll explain that by kind of explaining their sales policy. Their sales policy is to get as many people to buy the game as possible. Now, they're in business to make money. I get that. I understand that totally. But what they're doing at the moment is trying to get first-person shooter players. Call of Duty franchise is an absolute example of this, to come across and buy their product and play Battlefield instead, or as well. Now, it's fine, you know, great. More people play the game, the more chance there is of a next Battlefield, or Bad Company 3 maybe, or you know, something that your more traditional Battlefield player would enjoy. But it does bring with it problems. Now, Armoured Kill absolutely highlights this. For those of you that drop into random pub servers and, you know, just play with random people, you'll get what I'm talking about here. At the moment, if you get onto a Armoured Kill map at the start of the game and you deploy, and you spend, I don't know, 20 seconds sorting out your kit, you know, making sure you've got the right gun, making sure you've got the right rocket launcher or C4 or whatever. By the time you spawn in, there are no vehicles. Absolutely none. And all you can see is a bunch of people running. What happens is the first people spawn into the map, they get in a vehicle, and they naff off. They go on their own and leave, you know, people behind. I mean, if you get a quad bike, you can take 2 people. If you get one of the tank destroyers, I think it's 5, maybe 6 people you can get in that. You get 2 in a helicopter, more in a transport heli. You could quite easily get the 12 people in your team to wherever they need to be. But you can't do that if an individual player, which is what run and gun shooters promote, has taken the vehicle for themselves and gone. It kind of exemplifies the problem with trying to draw people from what is a totally different game. You get a totally different playstyle. Now, I'm not bashing on Call of Duty. You know, I played Modern Warfare 2. I did have Modern Warfare 3, but frankly, I just sold it to a mate after 15 minutes of playing it. Just didn't enjoy that whatsoever, because I've become Battlefield accustomed. Modern Warfare 2 was fine, used to play that with friends, but even that I played as, well, as a team. You know, we talked to each other and it was more fun. There are some hugely skilled players in Call of Duty that have come across to Battlefield. I'm not knocking their playstyle. I'm just saying that it doesn't really work when an entire map is dependent on teamwork. And you can kind of see the way DICE have tried to appeal to these people with, you know, the last DLC, Close Quarters. That was a very individual playstyle map. You could run around that if you were accurate and good with a gun on your own and do quite well. In Armoured Kill, even if you're great with a tank, you're not going to do as well as you could do if you've got a couple of people there backing you up, repairing you. You will last a lot longer working as a squad, and obviously within the team, trying to achieve the objectives. It gives you the win. I couldn't give two stuffs about win-loss or kill-death or any other stat really, as long as I enjoy the game. But at the moment I'm finding that I'm playing the vanilla and the Karkin maps rather than Armoured Kill, basically because I just don't enjoy being in a team that doesn't want to play as a team. So being stuck with a 800 metre run on Armoured Shield map, yeah, it kind of doesn't appeal to me. I'd be quite interested to get on with you know, some of the Platoon guys, get on there and play a few Armoured Kill rounds to see how they play out and whether it does make the overall difference to the game. Anyway, you know, that's my thoughts on that. The Armoured Kill release came with a patch 1.06 I think it was, and this kind of shows my next point quite well, really. When a game developer considers making a 0.1 second buff or nerf to a gun on the reload time more important than stopping people getting through the roof in Metro, then there's a problem. And the problem exists from the way that feedback is given on the forums. Now, kind of shows the tail wagging the dog when DICE listen to who shouts the loudest. Unfortunately, the internet is an anonymous even place where, you know, everyone's a keyboard warrior and everyone hides behind that anonymity, nobody knowing them, and you end up with, well, trolls, I think is the only way to describe them, posting over everything. Now, that's not to say the entire Battlefield community is a troll, because they're not. I know that. It's probably 2 or 3%. However, they're the most prolific forum posters. So they'll go on there and they'll post, you know, after somebody's put a reasonable point, like DICE, please fix the Metro roof glitch, or the periscope gun glitch, or the Ghost Rider glitch, or, you know, pick one. I mean, there's 40 odd that I know of. And then you get people posting on there, you noob, you just can't play the game. No, actually they're making a valid point and a reasoned argument, and you are now just going to provoke it into a trolling fest. It's a bit sad, really. You end up with the whiners on there. You know, absolute example of the whiners, the M16. Okay, let's make something really, really clear here. Okay, if you wanted to play Assault, you would play with the M16 from the word go in the game. It is the first and only gun you have, so you play with it. You get used to it. You unlock a few things for it, and yeah, it's your go-to gun because you know that you can expect what it's going to do when you pull the trigger. So you use it, you get better with it, you get better with it. You know, time goes on. When you get to the point you've unlocked it for the Russian side as well, fantastic, you can use that then. So why not use it? It's available to everyone. Okay? People sitting there saying, oh, it was OP. It wasn't OP. It was just an average at everything gun. It wasn't great at anything. It wasn't bad at anything. It was average across the board. You had guns like, I don't know, the AEK or the FAMAS, much better fire rate, much better close quarters. You had the, well, you did when the patch was done. You had the SCAR-L, the L85, great at long range. They had a purpose. They were good at one thing or another, whereas the M16 was average at everything. So now the whiners have whinged the nerf onto the M16, and in order to do that you've had to accept that the M416 was going to be buffed. Now my money says that come the next patch the posts will all be whining about the M416 being OP and this, that and the other, and then you'll have the camp who say, no, you noob, you just can't play, blah blah blah, and it will just turn into another trolling fest, and whoever shouts loudest, Dice will listen to. Dice, if you ever see my video, learn to say no. Just learn to say no. That way you can get on with fixing the stuff that needs fixing, and stop worrying about the inconsequential crap that you keep patching. You know, there are things that really need attention in this game, and I'm pretty sure putting a little bit of camo on a gun isn't one of them. Anyway, that's my thoughts. So there you go. That's me. I am still here. I am still kicking. Don't forget to like or subscribe or leave a comment if you want to. Check the description below for the link to Nerf the Noob. And this is Random, signing off. In case you wonder why sometimes it's difficult to do a video.